Good morning, everyone. To make next year your best year, it's essential to begin by taking ownership of your story. Each of us has a unique journey, and the way we view our past, our choices, and our future shapes how we experience life. Often we allow external circumstances or the opinions of others to define us, but when we take responsibility for our own narrative, we step into our power. We stop letting fear, doubt, or past mistakes hold us back. We begin to understand that we are not defined by our setbacks, but by how we rise from them. Taking ownership of your story means recognizing that you have the power to write the next chapter and you can choose the direction you want to take. To make next year your best year, one of the most powerful tools you can wield is vulnerability. We often see vulnerability as something to avoid or hide, something that makes us weak or exposes us to judgment. But what if we shifted that perspective? What if vulnerability became the key to unlocking deeper connections, greater growth, and a fuller life? The truth is, embracing vulnerability can be one of the most courageous decisions you ever make, and it can create the foundation for an incredible year ahead. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we invite authenticity into our lives. Authenticity means showing up as our true selves, not hiding behind masks or pretending to be someone we're not. It's about being real with ourselves and others, sharing our fears, hopes, dreams, and even our imperfections. It's not always easy, especially in a world that often rewards perfection and success. But authenticity is powerful. It builds trust and fosters connections that go beyond surface-level interactions. Vulnerability is the gateway to this connection. When we allow ourselves to be seen, without the need for approval or validation, we create space for others to do the same. We invite others into our truth, and that is where meaningful relationships are born. By being vulnerable, we also open ourselves up to growth. Vulnerability requires us to step outside of our comfort zones and face the unknown. It's about taking risks, whether that's in our personal lives, careers, or in pursuing our passions. The fear of failure often keeps us from taking these risks, but when we embrace vulnerability, we acknowledge that failure is not the end, it's simply a step in the process of learning and evolving. It's through our vulnerability that we learn our greatest lessons. We learn how to be resilient in the face of challenges, how to persevere even when things don't go as planned, and how to find strength in places we never imagined. Vulnerability also allows us to cultivate self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we fall short, but when we embrace vulnerability, we give ourselves permission to make mistakes without judgment. It's about recognizing that we are all human, that we don't have to be perfect to be worthy, and that we can still be proud of ourselves even when we stumble. This self-compassion is a game changer, not just for our mental and emotional well-being, but for our ability to show up in the world with courage and clarity. So, as you prepare for the year ahead, consider what it might look like to embrace vulnerability more fully. What would it feel like to show up as your true self unapologetically? What if you took the leap and pursued your dreams, even when the outcome is uncertain? When we lean into vulnerability, we make room for connection, growth, and the possibility of transformation. This could be the year that everything changes, not because of the circumstances, but because of the courage you choose to embrace the discomfort of vulnerability. To make next year your best year, cultivating self-compassion is one of the most essential practices you can adopt. Self-compassion is not just a buzzword, it is a transformative way of relating to yourself with kindness, care, and understanding, especially in moments of struggle or failure. Too often, we are our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards and condemning ourselves when we fall short. But practicing self-compassion is about stepping away from that inner judgment and offering ourselves the same grace and empathy we would offer a loved one in times of difficulty. When we practice self-compassion, we create a space for healing and growth. We acknowledge our imperfections and struggles without attaching shame or guilt to them. This is crucial because shame can paralyze us and keep us stuck, while self-compassion encourages us to recognize that we are not defined by our mistakes or shortcomings. Instead, we are whole, worthy, and deserving of care, even in our moments of weakness. When we allow ourselves to be human, to make mistakes, and to learn from them, we open the door to personal growth and transformation. It is through these moments of vulnerability that we truly learn who we are and what we are capable of. One of the most powerful aspects of self-compassion is that it allows us to be present with ourselves in difficult moments. Life can be unpredictable, and sometimes we face challenges that feel overwhelming. It's easy to become frustrated, anxious, or discouraged when things don't go as planned. However, when we practice self-compassion, we approach these moments with a sense of calm and understanding. Rather than berating ourselves for not being perfect or having all the answers, we treat ourselves with the same kindness we would offer to a friend in need. We remind ourselves that it's okay to not have it all figured out, that it's okay to stumble and fall, because it's all part of the process of growing and evolving. Self-compassion also helps us let go of unrealistic expectations. We live in a world that often glorifies hustle and achievement, pushing us to constantly do more, be more, and accomplish more. But this pressure can lead to burnout and self-criticism when we inevitably fall short. Self-compassion allows us to redefine success not by how much we achieve, but by how we treat ourselves along the way. It teaches us that we can be successful while still being gentle with ourselves, recognizing that we don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and respect. It encourages us to slow down, to take breaks, and to nurture ourselves in ways that recharge and restore our energy. As you move into the new year, embracing self-compassion can be a game changer. It will shift your mindset from one of self-judgment to one of self-acceptance, allowing you to approach challenges with a greater sense of ease and resilience. When you treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a loved one, you give yourself the freedom to be human, to grow, and to thrive. This shift in perspective can help make next year your best year, not because everything will be perfect, but because you will learn to be kind and supportive toward yourself, no matter what comes your way. To make next year your best year, one of the most important shifts you can make is letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is often seen as a virtue, a desire to always do our best, to strive for excellence, and to deliver flawless results. While striving for high standards can be positive, perfectionism, when taken too far, can paralyze us and prevent us from moving forward. It often leads to self-doubt, procrastination, and an overwhelming fear of failure. But when we let go of the need to be perfect, we free ourselves from the impossible standards we impose on ourselves and create space for real progress and growth. Perfectionism can often stem from a fear of judgment or rejection. We may believe that if we make a mistake or fail, others will view us as incompetent or unworthy. This fear can make us reluctant to take risks or try new things. We become so focused on avoiding failure that we miss out on the opportunities for learning and development that come with stepping outside our comfort zones. When we release the grip of perfectionism, we allow ourselves to embrace the process of growth, understanding that mistakes are not failures, they are simply lessons that help us evolve. Letting go of perfectionism also means giving ourselves permission to be human. Perfectionism thrives in environments where we expect ourselves to be flawless in every aspect of life, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or personal pursuits. This pressure can be exhausting, leading to burnout and a sense of inadequacy. However, when we let go of the need for perfection, we create a more compassionate and realistic approach to life. We acknowledge that we don't have to have everything figured out, and we don't have to do everything perfectly to be successful or worthy of love and acceptance. Life is messy, and that's okay. To make next year your best year, setting intentional goals is a crucial step. Goals provide direction, purpose, and focus, helping us prioritize our actions and efforts. However, the key to truly transformative goals isn't simply about ticking off tasks or achieving a list of objectives. It's about setting intentions that align with our values, growth, and vision for the future. Intentional goals are those that connect deeply with who we are and who we want to become. They are not just about outcomes, but about the process and the person we become as we move toward them. Setting intentional goals requires clarity and reflection. It's easy to set goals based on external pressures like what society expects or what others are doing. However, when these goals aren't rooted in our own values, they can feel unfulfilling or disconnected. Instead of setting goals that are simply about achieving something for the sake of achievement, ask yourself, what do I want to feel? What kind of person do I want to become? How do I want my life to look and feel in the next year? By connecting your goals to your values and desires, you create a path that feels meaningful, not just productive. Intentional goals also require mindfulness and awareness of the present moment. It's not enough to just set a goal and hope it happens. It's about being present with the process, checking in with yourself regularly, and adjusting your course as needed. Life is unpredictable and obstacles are inevitable. By setting goals with intention, you embrace flexibility and adaptability. You recognize that setbacks aren't failures, they are part of the journey and they provide valuable lessons that can help refine your path. With intentionality, you can approach challenges with a growth mindset, using each obstacle as an opportunity for learning rather than a reason to quit. When you set goals with intention, you also become more mindful of how you spend your time and energy. Goals that aren't aligned with our deeper purpose often feel like obligations, draining our motivation and enthusiasm. But when your goals are aligned with who you are and what you want to achieve, they energize you. They become something you want to work toward because they are in harmony with your core desires. This alignment creates a sense of fulfillment, as each step forward feels like progress towards something that truly matters. Moreover, setting intentional goals helps you break free from the pressure to be perfect. Perfectionism often leads to setting unrealistic or overly rigid goals, which can be discouraging when things don't go exactly as planned. Intentional goals, on the other hand, give you the space to be flexible and kind to yourself. It's not about rigidly following a set path. It's about knowing where you're going and adjusting along the way, trusting that every step counts, even if it's not perfect. As you prepare for the year ahead, take time to set intentional goals that resonate with who you are and who you want to become. Ask yourself what truly matters, how you want to feel, and what actions will bring you closer to your authentic self. When you set goals with intention, you are not just focusing on the outcome, you're engaging in a process that enriches your life, builds your resilience, and connects you more deeply to your values. This approach will not only guide you toward success, but will make the journey itself meaningful and fulfilling. To make next year your best year, focusing on developing resilience is one of the most impactful decisions you can make. Resilience is the ability to adapt and bounce back from challenges, setbacks, and adversity. It's the strength to continue moving forward even when life gets tough, and it's something we all need in order to thrive. Building resilience doesn't mean avoiding difficulties, it means facing them with courage, learning from them, and coming out stronger on the other side. It's a practice that requires patience, self-awareness, and a willingness to grow through discomfort. One of the first steps in developing resilience is accepting that challenges are an inevitable part of life. We often wish for a smooth, obstacle-free journey, but the reality is that setbacks, failures, and disappointments are part of the human experience. Rather than trying to avoid or resist these moments, resilience encourages us to embrace them. It asks us to reframe how we see obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth. Each challenge we face, whether in our personal or professional lives, carries a lesson that helps us build our strength and resilience. When we shift our perspective and view challenges as part of our growth process, we are better equipped to handle them when they arise. Another important aspect of resilience is maintaining hope and optimism, even in the face of adversity. It's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned, but resilient individuals hold on to the belief that better days are ahead. Hope isn't about denying the reality of difficult situations. It's about choosing to trust that things can improve and that we have the capacity to adapt and overcome. This hopeful mindset gives us the energy to keep going, even when the path forward feels uncertain or overwhelming. Resilience teaches us to focus on what we can control, take things one step at a time, and trust that progress is still being made, even if it's not immediately visible. Developing resilience also involves cultivating emotional strength. Life often brings emotional challenges, grief, disappointment, frustration, or fear, and it's easy to let these emotions take over. But resilient individuals understand that emotions are a natural part of life, and they don't let them dictate their actions or derail their progress. Instead of suppressing or avoiding difficult emotions, resilient people learn to acknowledge them, process them, and move through them. This emotional agility allows them to stay grounded during tough times, while also recognizing that their feelings do not define their ability to persevere. Emotions can be powerful, but resilience is about finding balance and not allowing temporary feelings to control our long-term goals and actions. Resilience also thrives in supportive environments. While personal strength is crucial, having a network of people who lift you up, challenge you, and provide encouragement is essential. No one can go through life's difficulties alone, and having a support system helps to reinforce our sense of resilience. When we lean on others during tough times, we gain perspective, strength, and comfort. Resilience is not about being invincible or going through life without help. It's about knowing when to reach out, share your struggles, and allow others to help you through difficult moments. As you look ahead to the next year, take the time to develop your resilience. Embrace challenges as opportunities, maintain hope even when the road gets tough, and nurture your emotional strength. By building resilience, you create the foundation to face whatever comes your way, knowing that you have the strength to overcome obstacles and continue moving forward. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding pain or difficulty, it means having the courage to face it, grow through it, and emerge stronger than before. This is what will truly make next year your best year. To make next year your best year, one of the most important steps you can take is to practice gratitude regularly. Gratitude is more than just a feel-good concept. It's a powerful practice that can shift your mindset, improve your relationships, and increase your overall sense of well-being. When we focus on the things we are grateful for, we train our minds to look for the positive aspects of our lives, even in the midst of challenges. Gratitude helps us reframe our perspective, moving us from a place of lack or frustration to a place of abundance and appreciation. A key part of practicing gratitude is recognizing that it's not about ignoring life's difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging that even in tough times, there are things to be thankful for. Whether it's the support of a friend, the beauty of nature, or the simple fact that you are alive and breathing, gratitude helps us focus on what we have rather than what we don't. When we make this shift, we begin to realize that there is always something to appreciate, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant it may seem. This shift in focus brings a sense of peace and contentment that can ground us during difficult times. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is that it can rewire our brains. Studies have shown that regularly practicing gratitude can increase levels of dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters associated with feelings of happiness and well-being. When we consciously choose to focus on what we are grateful for, our brain starts to form new neural pathways, making it easier to notice the positive aspects of life. Over time, this practice can help shift our default mindset from one of negativity or scarcity to one of abundance and positivity. As a result, we become more resilient, more open to joy, and more connected to the people and experiences that bring us fulfillment. Gratitude also has a profound impact on our relationships. When we express gratitude to others, we strengthen our bonds and create deeper connections. Simple acts of appreciation like thanking someone for their help, acknowledging their kindness, or simply recognizing their presence in our lives can have a powerful effect on the people around us. Gratitude fosters an atmosphere of positivity, trust, and mutual respect. It helps us focus on the good in others, which in turn allows those relationships to thrive. When we cultivate gratitude in our relationships, we create a foundation of love, support, and understanding. Moreover, practicing gratitude can also lead to a greater sense of self-awareness. It forces us to slow down and reflect on what truly matters in our lives. Often we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, distracted by the next task, goal, or obligation. But when we pause to reflect on what we're grateful for, we reconnect with what is truly meaningful. It brings clarity and perspective, reminding us of the values, people, and experiences that contribute to our happiness and sense of fulfillment. This sense of awareness helps us make intentional decisions about how we spend our time and energy, ensuring that we prioritize the things that align with our true desires and aspirations. As you look ahead to the next year, make a commitment to practice gratitude daily. Whether through journaling, mindfulness, or simply taking a moment each day to reflect on the things you are thankful for, this practice will shift your mindset and make a profound difference in how you experience the world. Gratitude will help you navigate challenges with greater ease, deepen your relationships, and increase your overall sense of well-being. When you focus on the positive aspects of your life, you invite more positivity and joy into your experience, making next year not only your best year, but one that is filled with greater connection, peace, and happiness. To make next year your best year, one of the most essential steps you can take is to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that you would offer a friend who is struggling. Too often, we are our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to unrealistically high standards and berating ourselves when we fall short. This constant self-criticism can take a heavy toll on our mental and emotional well-being, making it difficult to navigate challenges and setbacks. When we practice self-compassion, we acknowledge that being imperfect, failing, and experiencing difficulty are part of the shared human experience. Instead of judging ourselves, we offer ourselves the care and support we need to move forward. At its core, self-compassion is about embracing our humanity. We are all imperfect, and we all make mistakes. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we should be flawless, that we should always perform at our best and never show vulnerability. But these unrealistic expectations can lead to burnout, anxiety, and feelings of inadequacy. Self-compassion allows us to break free from the need to be perfect. It invites us to be gentle with ourselves when we stumble and to offer ourselves the same grace that we would extend to others. Rather than seeing our mistakes as failures, we see them as opportunities for growth and learning. We understand that it's okay to be imperfect and that we are worthy of love and care, regardless of our shortcomings. One of the key elements of self-compassion is mindfulness. Being mindful means being present with our emotions without judgment. When we experience pain, disappointment, or frustration, it's easy to avoid those feelings or push them aside. But mindfulness encourages us to sit with those emotions, acknowledge them, and accept them as they are. By doing so, we create space for healing and self-acceptance. Rather than ignoring our struggles or trying to fix them immediately, mindfulness allows us to approach our emotions with curiosity and compassion, understanding that they are temporary and will pass. When we are mindful of our emotions, we are better able to navigate difficult moments with resilience and calm. Self-compassion also involves taking care of ourselves, both physically and emotionally. It's about prioritizing our well-being, setting healthy boundaries, and ensuring that we have the support we need. When we are compassionate toward ourselves, we recognize the importance of rest, relaxation, and self-care. We understand that we can't pour from an empty cup, and we make sure that we are replenishing our energy so that we can show up fully for ourselves and others. This practice helps us maintain balance, prevent burnout, and foster a greater sense of well-being. Furthermore, practicing self-compassion has a profound impact on our relationships. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we are better able to show up with kindness in our interactions with others. We become less reactive and more patient, less judgmental and more understanding. As we cultivate compassion for ourselves, we are also able to extend that compassion to those around us, creating deeper, more meaningful connections. By taking the time to nurture ourselves, we become better equipped to nurture and support others. As you look to the year ahead, make a commitment to practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself in moments of difficulty, offer yourself grace when you make mistakes, and prioritize your well-being. By doing so, you will not only experience greater peace and fulfillment, but you will also build the resilience and strength needed to navigate life's challenges. Self-compassion is not about being complacent or flaws in our flaws. It's about recognizing that we are worthy of love, care, and respect, regardless of our imperfections. When we practice self-compassion, we open the door to growth, healing, and a deeper connection with ourselves and others. This is a crucial step in making next year your best year. To make next year your best year, one of the most important things you can do is embrace change. Change is inevitable. It's the one constant in life. Whether it's changes in our personal circumstances, our relationships, or the world around us, change is something we all encounter. While many of us may resist change out of fear or uncertainty, embracing it with an open mind and heart can lead to profound growth, new opportunities, and a richer experience of life. When we resist change, we often create unnecessary stress, frustration, and a sense of being stuck. But when we embrace it, we free ourselves to evolve, learn, and experience life more fully. Embracing change starts with shifting our mindset. Often we view change as something threatening or disruptive, especially when it comes unexpectedly or brings challenges. However, change can also be a source of transformation and renewal. Instead of fearing the unknown, we can choose to see it as an opportunity to learn something new, to redefine who we are, or to explore new paths. The key is to reframe our perspective and view change not as an obstacle, but as an invitation for growth. Each time life presents a change, we can ask ourselves, how can I grow through this? What can I learn from this situation? This mindset allows us to approach change with curiosity and resilience rather than fear or resistance. Another important aspect of embracing change is letting go of attachments to the past. We often hold on to old habits, beliefs, or ways of doing things because they feel safe or familiar. But when we cling too tightly to the past, we limit our ability to move forward. To embrace change, we must be willing to release what no longer serves us. This doesn't mean disregarding the past or forgetting the lessons we've learned, but rather recognizing that we are no longer defined by past experiences. By letting go of old patterns or attachments, we create space for new possibilities and opportunities to enter our lives. Embracing change also means being adaptable and flexible. Life doesn't always unfold as we expect, and the road to our goals may not always be straight or predictable. The more adaptable we are, the better equipped we are to handle life's uncertainties. Adaptability allows us to navigate the unexpected with grace and to adjust our course when necessary. Instead of feeling defeated when things don't go according to plan, we can approach setbacks as opportunities to reevaluate, adjust, and move forward with a new perspective. It's also important to recognize that embracing change doesn't mean we have to do everything on our own. Change can be overwhelming, but it can also be a shared experience. By reaching out for support when needed, whether it's from friends, family, or mentors, we can make the process of change more manageable and less isolating. Having a support system helps us feel less alone as we navigate transitions, and it can provide us with encouragement, guidance, and perspective during difficult moments. As you look ahead to the next year, consider how you can embrace change in your own life. What areas of your life could benefit from a shift in mindset or approach? How can you let go of old habits, beliefs, or attachments that are holding you back? By embracing change, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities, growth, and new experiences. Change doesn't always come easily, but when we approach it with an open heart and mind, it has the potential to lead us to places we never imagined. This willingness to evolve and adapt is what will allow you to make next year your best year yet. In conclusion, making next year your best year begins with embracing key practices that empower and uplift you. By taking ownership of your story, you reclaim control over your narrative and move forward with intention. Setting intentional goals aligned with your values provides a clear direction, while developing resilience equips you to face challenges with strength and adaptability. Practicing gratitude shifts your mindset towards abundance, and showing self-compassion allows you to be kind and patient with yourself in moments of struggle. Lastly, embracing change opens you up to new possibilities and growth, ensuring that you remain adaptable and open to the opportunities life presents. By committing to these practices, you create a foundation for a year filled with personal growth, fulfillment, and joy. It's not about perfection, but about embracing the journey with openness, courage, and authenticity. Next year can be your best year, not because everything will go according to plan, but because you will be present, resilient, and empowered to navigate whatever comes your way. By committing to these practices, you create a foundation for a year filled with personal growth, fulfillment, and joy. It's not about perfection, but about embracing the journey with openness, courage, and authenticity. Next year can be your best year, not because everything will go according to plan, but because you will be present, resilient, and empowered to navigate whatever comes your way. Thank you.